Hello YouTube, this is BUB'S Comics coming at you with a quick haul. I have, let's see, a few books that I've picked up. We'll start off first. This was Dollar Bin Diving at mycomicshop.com. So I picked up a few things from there. I kind of split them up between a couple of hauls. So here we have Charlie's Angels #1. That's a nice David Finch cover. This is a book that I thought about getting before, but I didn't because, you know, I mean, it's okay, but I wasn't going to spend a bunch of money on it. So for $1, I'm good with it. I've been kind of laying off newer books. So this is a $3.99 price tag when it came out was, I don't know, you know, when you start getting into key hunting and buying bigger books, when you see a book for $4, even $3, you're like, that's too much, you know. Not when you can wait around, and a lot of those books end up being for $1, you know. So anyway, similarly, here is Amazing Spider-Man $7.98. So this, of course, Alex Ross cover. You know, what's this book doing in a dollar bin, you might ask? You know, that's just kind of the way it is sometimes. I just find it so amazing that a year ago or so, when this book first came out, and everybody was buying them, and they were buying and selling them on eBay, and everybody was trying to get all the variants, and it's just, you know, the Red Goblin craze. I'm so glad, you know, maybe it was a couple of years, I'm not quite sure, but when I first got into this hobby and I was looking at picking up Spider-Man books, I wasn't able, this was the first book that I wasn't able to get at a comic shop because of flippers, basically. Because of speculators and flippers. This was the first book I wasn't able to get. And usually the comic shops, they buy a ton of Amazing Spider-Man because they know it's popular. And still, you couldn't find this book anywhere in a shop, or at least I couldn't. And that's when people start, oh, you got to get up early, you got to be there on a Wednesday. I didn't even know what New Comic Book Day was. I just knew I was going to the comic shop, I was going to pick up Amazing Spider-Man. They're like, we're sold out. And this was why. Since then, I've owned a couple of copies, and I've sold them all. And this is a copy that I'm kind of putting back in my collection because it's the least I've ever paid for it, being at $1. Actually, I got a copy free once, so that doesn't count. But anyway, there you go. Here is number $7.99 as well, also for $1. So happy to have these again. I don't know if they'll stay in my collection. Really quite torn on it. The next time that I sell, like to a comic shop or something, I probably include those because they're pretty and they remind people of other times. So when a shop owner sees that, he's like, oh yeah, this book, I remember, you know, making good money on that book. They like to see that, and a lot of times they'll buy books that are no longer hot, and they're not paying you what the hot price was anyway, but you'll get more than you paid for it. Next, we got a couple that I picked up from the Peddler's Mall, so that's kind of like an indoor flea market without the sellers being present. Here's Birds of Prey. It says Canary Flares Up, and just some great Greg Land art there. I think that's fantastic. Love it. So really happy to have that one. I think it's great. That is really good. So that's perfect. So glad to have that. Her carrying the torch. I just think it's cool. Great art. Just fantastic. And picked this one up for $1 too. This is Superman 75. Of course, Death of Superman. I did not have this book. Now, I've shown off recently that I got this book back from PGX, and that was for my brother-in-law. So I've since given that to him. He was very happy to have it. Really liked it as a present. But anyway, I had, I think, maybe a third print or second print of this where the words are yellow and the color scheme is just slightly different over top, and these words are white, actually. So this is the first print. So glad to have it. I didn't have a copy of the first print. It's not 9.8, probably somewhere around a 9.6 or 4. It's got a little bit of damage here in the corner and there in the corner. Other than that, it appears to be unread. Pretty good condition, but you know, this book doesn't go for a whole lot anymore, but glad to have it. Next we have Captain America 275. I had forgotten that I sold my copy of this book because it had some water damage to it. And I actually pressed out the water damage, but I still wasn't real happy with the copy of the book. I was going to get it signed by Zek, but it was such low grade and such a bad copy of the book that I just didn't see any sense in it because his signatures aren't free. So anyway, I ended up picking this up. I thought I already had a copy, but when I got home, I realized that I remembered that I had already sold that one, so here you are. Captain America 275, great Mike Zeck cover, and it's in the collection. Then I also picked up a couple of those Walmart, or actually just one of those Walmart 3-packs to get this Black Cat #1 variant. I like it. It's okay. Actually, now that I have it, I might just sell it. But it's okay. What I don't like about it is how her mask doesn't go across her face there. It's kind of weird. It's like 2 pieces of a mask. And that may be how it's supposed to look. But for some reason on this face, the way it's spaced, I'm just not crazy about it. The rest of it I like. Then Shuri #5. I struggled with not just throwing this straight in the trash. So, so instead, I'll probably sell it. Don't even know who the artist is. It looks okay. The bugs look kind of cool on there. I think Shuri looks terrible, if that's even Shuri. Iron Man looks terrible. The bugs look cool, but the rest is garbage. Speaking of garbage, here's Namor #1 from the Best Defense when they were running that. Looks like he's on. It looks like a Silver Surfer Namor or something. I don't know. Don't care for the mashup. Art looks crappy. I'll be selling that one too. So here you go, guys. That's my quick comic haul. Hope y'all enjoyed that. All these other books were for $1, and then threw these in from the Walmart pack. So glad to have all those, and we'll leave you with this one. Yeah, Greg Land working his magic. All right, y'all. Read a comic. Talk to you later. Bye.